Hello and welcome to the first session of our volunteer organizer training for the Hoosier Environmental Council. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Amanda Shepard and I am the Senior Manager of Outreach. So I will be your main contact as a volunteer with our organization. First off, I want to say thank you so much for joining me for this new venture. And I hope that you learn a lot as we journey through all of these trainings together. If you have any questions, I will be sharing my email at the end of this presentation, and I will also share the slides via our website and also on our social media as well. So let's go ahead and get into it here. So for those of you who maybe don't know a lot about the Hoosier Environmental Council, I want to start off by just telling you a little bit about who we are and what we do. So that's essentially all we're going to cover in this session. It's going to be really short. I just want to kind of give all of you an overview of the work that we do, and then we will dive much more deeply into how we do the work that we do, the issues that we work on, and a whole host of other issues as we go through this training session and future sessions together. So the Hoosier Environmental Council has been around for over 37 years now, and our mission is really to help provide a cleaner and healthier and more just Indiana for all Hoosiers. We consider ourselves the voice of the people for the environment in Indiana, and our whole team is really focused on trying to better not only our environment, but also the public health. So what the heck does HEC do? Well, we do a lot. So the first thing people tend to think of when they think of HEC is that we are a lobbying organization, and we are. We do a lot of work in the State House in particular. So first off, we work by influencing elected officials and policymakers. So this may not just be through our State House lobbying, although that is, of course, our main focus as we are the largest environmental policy nonprofit organization working in Indiana, but we also do other work influencing elected officials as well. We occasionally do lobby at the congressional level, but we also do testimony before area planning commissions, county commissioners, city councilors, Natural Resources Commission, Indiana Environmental Rules Board, Board of Zoning Appeals. So really a large variety of places where you might find us giving testimony when we think that it is called for. We also do work through advocacy. So one of the ways we do advocacy beyond the legislature is grassroots. So this could look something like making phone calls, providing personalized emails influencing people to maybe reach out to their lawmaker themselves, newsletters telling our supporters what is going on and how they can get involved and how they can help. And then also grass tops advocacy. So this looks more like coordination with other nonprofit partners who we may work with across the state. And you can actually find a whole list of the partners that we work with on our website, which is hecweb.org, which you can see down there in that bottom right. We also do a lot of work through education. So obviously we do trainings like this one where I train volunteers, but we also hold events during normal times called Greening Your Community events. And these typically look like house parties or gatherings that can occur in churches or restaurants. Again, when we're not in a pandemic, when we can actually gather in person. And we travel across the state to do this. So it can be in a community in North Central Indiana, or it can be a community in Southeastern Indiana. We also encourage our volunteers to help host these. So if that is something that you are interested in, we will cover that in a future training as well. And then we also do webinars. So we actually are hosting a series of webinars right now on solar energy. And if you're interested in that, you can find more info about that on our Facebook page and our website. But we really try and host webinars that are going to cover issues that we feel are of interest to Hoosiers and have a wide appeal regardless of where those Hoosiers might live. So, whether it's solar energy or whether it's protecting our water resources, we really try and hone in on what we think a community or the state at large might be most interested in learning more about. We also offer legal services. So we do have a staff attorney, Kim Ferraro, and she will step in at times when perhaps someone has tried every other possible solution to an issue that they might have. And we actually do provide occasionally pro bono legal services, and then sometimes just reduced cost legal services for people when they really need it. And then we do also offer technical assistance, whether that's pointing someone to the correct resources if they maybe need soil testing done or water testing done. But we have a whole intake form that is on our website, again, hecweb.org, where people who are experiencing hardship or really are at their wits' end with something that they might be fighting against or working for in their community can put in their information, and then the appropriate staff member will reach out to them and help them in whatever way we can. We also do a lot of research and some thought leadership too. So what we mean by this is every issue that we work on is something that we have spent a lot of time studying and researching. All of our positions are science-based. But not only that, we also take into account the economy. And this is something that, we kind of pride ourselves on at HEC, because it is not something that a lot of environmental organizations will necessarily try and focus in on. But we know that here in Indiana, in order to make headway in the legislature and to influence legislators on both sides of the aisle, we have to make our arguments not just environmental, but also economic. And so we really pride ourselves on doing a thorough job of researching not just the science, why something might be a good political position and why it might be a good policy, but also why it is a good policy economically. And that also leads to some thought leadership about, how do we present this to a particular legislator? How do we go about organizing testimony on this particular issue? So we do a lot when it comes to the work that we do, and we do it in a lot of different ways. So the other thing I want to encourage you to do is, if you don't already, make sure that you sign up for our newsletter. Again, go to our website, hecweb.org, sign up for our newsletter now. Pay attention to our social media. So we are on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter, we're on YouTube. Make sure you find all of those and follow us, like us, and make sure that you're sharing information with all of your contacts as well, because the more we can get this information out, the better. And then the other thing that you should definitely keep an eye on is our Bill Watch page. We actually just started our Bill Watch 2021 page, so be sure to keep an eye on that for calls to action throughout the year. We'll be posting information about legislation that is likely going to be coming up during the 2021 legislative session and telling you how you can get more involved. Finally, be sure to keep an eye on our events calendar, whether it's on our website or on our Facebook page. This is where we'll post information about upcoming phone banks, future trainings, other events, and so much more. And then also, if you have questions, make sure you reach out to me. My email is right there, ashepard@hecweb.org. And I really, really just want to say how much I appreciate you taking the time to be here, to get started on these trainings. I hope that you learned a little bit today and that you will learn a whole lot in the future. And I just want to say that when we come all together now, we can make a huge difference in Indiana, in this country, and in our world. So thank you so much, and I will see you soon.